Hello everybody, my name is Stacy. Welcome to my channel, The Liminal Space. Welcome to April. If you watched my March reading, a couple of the words that I remember using for the month of March were chaos and mayhem. And I feel like that was pretty accurate, though maybe not everybody felt the energy that way. I felt it building up in February too. February was a wild month, and March turned out to be. And actually, I expect that April is going to be too. So, anyways, I just want to light a candle, call in the fire for creativity, energy, and reading. Boy, my candle left a big black mark on there. Well, interesting. I'm just going with it. So, March has been an interesting month. I hope everybody is safe and well and dealing with the energy, emotion, and strain with ease. I really recommend, if you can, try to meditate. And I am affected by monkey mind, like ADHD affects women. Like I overthink everything. But try to take some moments and just pause. And when moments of overthinking come into your head when you're trying to do that, just push them away and say, no, not now. Spend some time outside, bare feet on the ground if you can, if it's warm enough where you're at. It's starting to warm up where I'm at, and so that's nice to be able to walk out and the grass, it's not green yet, it's still brown and flat from the snow, but and just kind of feel the earth. So we're going to look at the same things we always look at for our monthly reading. I'm using the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, and we look at 3 things. And these are messages to us for our mind, for our body, and for our spirit. And this deck is one of my favorites. I just feel like it gives such nice guidance, and I feel like everybody can connect with a spirit animal of some sorts. And sometimes they're with us all our lives, and sometimes they're with us for a moment. A couple mornings ago when I was out feeding my horses, there were turkeys calling and coyotes howling. And that's unusual to hear the coyotes at that time of the day. We get a lot of them in the evening and in the middle of the night. And the turkeys, not unusual to see them in the morning, but they were both of them yelling. It was kind of like they were having a spirit contest and they were trying to out noise one another. And so I really thought about the energies of what those animals are bringing to us. And actually, I think turkey showed up last month in our reading. I wrote them down somewhere, but anyway, doesn't really matter. Turkey is a very interesting energy, and it's kind of brings on the idea of like gratitude. Yeah, turkey was one of our cards for last month for our body, I think. Anyway, we're moving past March now, and we're moving into April. And, just to kind of hit on some big things that's going to go on in April, as I said, I think that the energy, the intensity, and the speed is going to continue with us. April kind of feels like this. Anyways, it's got, all that Aries energy. We've started the new zodiac year at the spring equinox. March had a lot of things going on, but blessedly, I don't think there's one planet retrograde this month. And we do have some intensity, though. We have a big stellium of planets, and they are sitting in Aries. And so Aries energy is very direct, very forward, very aggressive, I guess. I don't mean that in a harsh way. It's just Aries is like act now, think later. And that's okay, because we need that. And that really makes sense for the energy that starts us off for our astrological year. Right at the beginning of this month, like right now, we have the full moon. And this is a full moon in Libra. So this is a moon full of balance and beauty. Libra is ruled by Taurus. Taurus is the other planet ruled by Venus. So Libra ruled by Venus. It's balanced, beauty, gentleness, and just kind of overall balance, which is nice because it's, working opposite right now in the moon cycle against this Aries energy. And then, of course, we'll have our Aries new moon, the 17th. It'll be early in the morning where I'm at, Mountain Standard Time. I'm not sure what time it will be where you're at, but that's what we're going to be. I just kind of shuffled, cut, and let's move with this energy. I'm going to try to keep my candle in flame because I like that. This is our card for our mind. This is our body for our card for our body, and this is our card for spirit. I got my light set up a little bit differently, and the shadows are kind of... Anyway, I guess I can still see the deck of cards. I'll move them out of the way. So expect overall that the month of April is going to feel fast and wild. I do think as we get to the end of April and as we move into Taurus, we're going to start to feel more of that energy. But for right now, at the beginning of the month, it's going to be fast, furious, intense, and kind of a whirlwind. But that's okay. If you accept it, know what's going to happen, you can be prepared for it. And then, like I said, try to find some times to meditate. Try to find some times to ground. Okay, let's take a look at our reading and see what these cards have in store for us. So our message for our mind is crow spirit. Co-create with spirit. Interestingly enough, we don't have a lot of crows around here, but they come through at times, and I heard a crow calling this morning, and so interesting. So this is the 17 card, which makes me think also of this connection to the new moon, which is on the 17th. But crow spirit is very liminal. It's really kind of touches on between the worlds. And it says here, the message on the card is co-create with spirit. Like I said, crows are very interesting. They kind of get a bad rap because they kind of pick up garbage and they can make a mess, but they're smart birds. They're also, like crows and ravens tend to be, and vultures also get a bad reputation, connected with death or the passage between life and death, because they used to hang out on battlefields and they'd pick up garbage or what was left of the battle, remains. But crows really connect us to the other side, and they are spirits that kind of walk between the worlds, even though they fly. So maybe I should say they're spirits that fly between the worlds. So the oracle message for this card is, as you look around you, can you see the magic that pulses through the world? Have you witnessed how every thought can become a thing? How every intention can call the universe into action as the sacred laws shape what you experience? The universe works in perfect order. When you align your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with spirit, you will want to crow with delight, feeling the excitement and wonder of being in harmony with something much larger than yourself. So I don't know where everybody else is at in their life, but March has brought some unexpected changes into my life now in April, and I'm not going to talk about it right now. I'm just kind of embracing the newness of it. But something I didn't expect all at the beginning of March, I'm now at the beginning of April, has really changed a significant thing in my life. So I didn't expect it, but I was open to it. And that is what I suggest Crow Spirit is telling you to. Be open to your hopes and your dreams. Of course, be realistic, but don't be afraid to put what you want, what you need, and what you hope for out into the universe. You have spirit guides around you. They are listening, and they will do their best to create what they can for you, while at the same time making sure it is for the best. So another thing I just want to say about Crow Spirit is it says you are right on target now to see the dreams magically come into being in this visible world. The laws of abundance, compensation, frequency, and praise are operating in your favor now. Remember to be grateful. Which is interesting that I mentioned turkeys, and turkeys came up a couple days ago because that is a spirit of gratitude. So I think pretty exciting what Crow Spirit is telling us. Of course, this is for our mind, and this is where we create everything to start with. It is in our mind. It's in our thought process. It's how we shape our hopes and dreams. So a good message to us for our mind. Now we're going to go look at what the overall message is for our body for the month of April. Hummingbird spirit. So this is interesting. I love this. Hummingbirds are a very playful, fun bird. We don't see a lot of them where I'm at, and it's way too early in the season for it. But we do get hummingbird moths, which are breathtaking and beautiful at the same time. The message here on this card is be here now. And I think this is a very wise card for our body energy, because we really need to stay in our body right now. It's okay to have dreams. It's okay to have hopes. And when I say dreams, I don't mean just our thought processes, but where our dreams take us at night. Remember to ask for safety and protection in your dream space. And always remember that no matter where your mind takes you, the safest You are safe when you connect to the earth. So remember to ground at all times. Be here now. So let's take a look at what this, I haven't pulled this card for myself for a while, so I really want to be very specific about, the message in the card. The oracle message here says, the hummingbird's wings beat so swiftly that it can hover in a seeming stillness as it drinks deeply from a flower. They really do look like they're floating or just paused, but they're going so fast. So it's like the intensity of movement that looks so fast, it looks still. Hummingbird spirit comes to remind you that the beauty and sweetness of life is in the eternal now, the time that is the present. So that is a beautiful message. Here and now, you are becoming the person you wish to be, to have the experience you wish to have. Focus your energy on the flower before you, for what you desire is being provided. Yes, there are blossoms everywhere, and the choices can be dazzling and sometimes overwhelming. That's my word, not Colette's. Hummingbird Spirit's message is that you have no need to go about in search of something better, for all you require and desire is right before you. You will know this as you become still, feeling your connection to Spirit, who loves you unconditionally and who will always provide for you. So again, even though this is a bird, being still really reminds me of being grounded and connected to the earth. And if you cannot get your bare feet on the ground, if you cannot spend as much time outside as you would like to, if you can't go out and rest under the canopy of a tree, your mind is powerful. So you can imagine yourself doing those things. You can imagine your bare feet on the lush, warm ground and the beautiful green grass. You can imagine yourself standing under the rustling branches and leaves of a beautiful tree. And by doing that, you are grounding because you are connecting yourself to that imagery. And you can feel or know in your mind that you are grounding down, your feet are touching, you are under that beautiful grounded tree, and you are putting your own roots into the earth. And when you do that, beautiful things can happen to us, because ultimately we are all a part of this planet. No matter where our souls stem from, right now here in this life, we are of this planet, and she is very important to us. So allow her to help you on your journey. So let's take a look at what our message is for Spirit. I'm kind of excited. Mouse Spirit. They're such cute little buggers until they're causing havoc in your house. But anyways, Mouse Spirit. Tend to the small things. And this is kind of a reminder to us that we need to pay attention and focus, not on big goals, but sometimes making small daily changes, like taking 5 minutes just to meditate and ground and connect, like taking 10 minutes to just take a little walk and just release every other bit of stress or chaos that's in your life and just enjoy that moment. Take a long, relaxing shower. If you've been meaning to do some cleaning or clutter clearing or, releasing some things, don't say, I'm going to empty my house this month. Say, I'm going to start on that corner of the room. I'm going to look at all of the books in that bookcase over there, and I'm going to weed down what I don't need anymore. So sometimes we can make big changes by the small steps that we work on first. So tend to the small things. And if you tend to enough small things, suddenly big things have happened and you haven't even realized how amazing the work is that you've already done is. So the oracle message here says the humble mouse pays attention to the smallest details, and Mouse Spirit calls on you to notice the nuances and fine print at this time. In your eagerness to meet your goals and pursue your dreams, it is easy to forget the importance of clear communication and tending to little things, including people's subtle signs when they are unhappy, as well as the small voice inside of you that says, this doesn't feel right. So it's interesting. I mean, this is definitely a message from Spirit for Spirit, but it's also telling us to pay attention to ourself, our own intuition, our own higher self that's talking to us. Take your time to sniff out what you need to know. Is there some detail or nuance about how you engage others or operate in a world that is key to your success, but you're too readily dismissed by it as being nothing big or nothing special? Mouse Spirit reminds you that what may seem small may be more important and powerful than you think. So don't overlook the small things. Do not underestimate yourself or your potential for co-creating something amazing when you pay attention to the small details. So I think this kind of sums up the message that we're getting as advice for April, because I think it's going to feel like a wild month. So remember to co-create with spirit. Remember to be here in the now. However it is you do that, however it is you connect to now. Sometimes it's just a minute. Like if you're at work and it's overwhelming or there's craziness going on and you're just feeling like you're ramping up with that energy, go to the bathroom for a minute. You don't even have to use the bathroom. You just need to stand there and breathe and kind of pull yourself out of that energy and find yourself grounded and connected to yourself if need be, or to the planet. And that will help you weather those storms. And Mouse Spirit is telling us to tend to the small things. And it's really important because sometimes we almost get paralysis over trying to accomplish projects because they just feel too big. But if you look at a small project you have, then that's not as overwhelming. It feels manageable, and pretty soon you've accomplished it and 3 other small projects, and then you are halfway done with a big project and you didn't even realize it. So just really take the time this month to focus on yourself, focus on keeping yourself calm, and really important, I think, focus on little tiny tasks. Don't bite off too much. Even if Aries energy is trying to tell you to jump off the cliff or buy, something extravagant, try some small things first. And before you know it, you've made big changes. So I hope you guys have a wonderful month of April. I'm pretty excited about April. Also, I'm happy to see the backside of March, although March brought me a beautiful gift and blessing. And so, I mean, in all this, I don't want to even say struggles, but in all the intensity, sometimes at the end of it, you have a beautiful gift, and it's worth appreciating and being grateful for that. So I hope you all have a wonderful month of April. I will see you pretty shortly. Well, no, I guess we won't have another seasonal reading until May 1st, when we have Beltane and then our May reading. So I won't probably see you guys until April unless I decide to throw some spontaneous readings out. I've kind of been called to do that. But anyways, blessings to you all. Thank you for checking out my channel. I would love to hear some comments. I would love to hear if you connect to this deck, or if you connect to any of these cards or spirit animals, or if any of these things spoke to you directly. Anyways, blessings. Have a wonderful April, and I will see you around. Take care.